then now we can get these, maybe by factoring. So that's what I got coming up on the next few. All right. So this just says solve. This just sets up an idea that, we just solved by completing the square, by square roots on the last couple, or you could solve by factoring, by using what's called the zero product property. So again, quadratics, we did a whole bunch of different things. And when you solve by factoring, you get these factors set equal to 0. That's why it's called the zero product property. If this times this equals 0, only true if this equals 0 or that equals 0. And then these are your two solutions. When I plug them in, when I plug in -7 plus 7 is 0. 0 times I don't care equals 0. 3 minus 3 is 0. 0 times, 3 plus 7 is 10. I do care. 0 times 10, though, is 0. So that's why these are the solutions. They make the situation true, the equation. Now, find the zeros of this quadratic. That means solve. Find the solutions. Or you'll see the next set of directions. Find the roots. Okay, they're all synonyms. That means what I have to do for this is turn y into 0 and solve. Now, this could be done by the quadratic formula. It may take extra time. You might run out of time. Factoring is faster if you get good at it. And this is a fast one because it's a trinomial, MA with 1 being the leading coefficient. So, what multiplies to 15 and adds to 8? Pause the video if you want to think about it. I got no time for this. It's x plus 3, x plus 5. 5 times 3, 5 plus 3. Good FOILers. Good factors. And then what this turns out to be then is zero product property as demonstrated before. X equals -3, x equals -5. Okay, got to move along. Got quite a few questions to do here. Find the roots of the quadratic equation. Well, that just means, again, plug in 0 for y and solve. This is a difference of two squares. So this would be x minus 6, x plus 6. And that equals 0. So that means x equals 6 and x equals -6. Or you could have plugged in 0. You could have added 36 to both sides and square rooted both sides and then put plus minus in front of the 6. You have options. This one, I thought I'd throw this in here just to demonstrate solving by factoring when we have a little different type of factoring. This is only 2 terms. Well, you should always look for a GCF on any factoring question. And then what we can do now is I have this times this equals 0. So now I could separate these and set them equal to 0 separately. So this is what you have to do on this one, pardon me. And you do get one answer. Then the other one is subtract 6 from both sides and then divide by 7. So -6/7 is the other answer. So I thought I'd throw a GCF solving by factoring. Could use the quadratic formula, but C would be 0. This would be B, and this would be A, and it would take a heck of a lot longer than this. And then you might run out of time on your final. All right, then I have 3 questions left solving by the quadratic formula, so you can also use that. Although this one is factorable. There is an MA scenario that equals -18 for M and equals -7 for A. But we're going to go ahead and do the quadratic formula for it to show you that that happens. Quadratic formula, again, is going to be given to you. I don't know if I should say that. I don't know if that's illegal information, but I think you should know that. We'll show you what the formula sheet's going to look like, and then you decide where it is on there. But anyway, so the problem with this is it's the opposite of B. So it's 7, not -7, plus or minus. Now don't be a robot and press -7 squared on your calculator and not even think. What's a negative times a negative? Positive. So it's 7, it's -7 times -7, which is 49 that goes here. Minus 4 times A times C. Now, look at this right now. This is going to end up being a negative product, and we have a minus sign. What's minus a negative? Positive. No time. 2A. all over 2a. All right, 7 plus or minus square root of. All right, let me go get the calculator. I know it's going to be a nice number. Okay, so you get 121 in here. 4 times negative 18 is negative 72. And again, I, like a robot, typed in minus negative just to verify that you get plus, and then it ends up being 121. Now, what's the square root of 121? It's 11. So what you do with this is you do 7 plus 11 over 2 and 7 minus 11 over 2. That's what the plus minus means. You actually keep going. This is 18 over 2, which is 9. 7 minus 11 is negative 4. Negative 4 divided by 2 is negative 2. Lo and behold, you got the two numbers, the reverse of what multiplies and adds. This factors to be this. That's why if you were a good factorer, this would have been a lot faster to do it by factoring. But, you know, it's up to you when you get to the final exam. This one's not so much factorable, so we're going to speed track this one. Opposite of b, plus or minus, square root of b squared. Again, no robots. Negative 8 times negative 8 is positive 64, minus 4ac. All over 2a. All right, 8 plus or minus, calculator again, give me a second. Embarrassed on that one. Of course, I knew that was 16, and then this is plus 16. That's 80. Could have done that in my head. Pride myself with mental math. All right, then 80. Excuse me. 80 is, I like doing this off to the side just to get it moving here. 16 times 5? Yes. 5 times 10 is 50. 5 times 60. Yep. So you break this down. 80 is 16 times 5. What does that mean then? And no negatives in there. So don't be i's like, oh, I'm doing i's, so everything's I. No. Square root of 16 is 4. Okay, then this is what we trained you to do. Split this up into two separate fractions, and then you can simplify a little bit easier. 8 over 2 is 4. 4 over 2 is 2. All right, so this one, not factorable. So you'd have to solve it through quadratic formula, or you could do completing the square. That's where the quadratic formula comes from. Okay, then last but not least, this one. And we got some big numbers, just requires a calculator. Definitely be jumping to that. The opposite of b, plus or minus, b squared. Let me just check this real quick. Come on. There we go. And I'm not even typing a negative because I know a negative times a negative is a positive. So 324 minus 4ac. All right, now we might have an issue because c is a positive and this is going to be an awfully large number. All over 2a. All right, so 324 minus 4, not even going to type the 1, times 82. Oh no, but actually not too bad. Okay, so let's negative 4. 18 plus or minus the square root of negative 4. Now we got an I number. Okay, so what's the square root of a negative? I. What's the square root of 4? 2. So 8 plus or minus 2i all over 2. So square root of 4 is 2. Square root of a negative is an I. And then when you split this up, like we did the last one, we get a nice cleaner answer. 4 plus or minus I. Okay, so this pretty much takes you mostly to the rest of the final. I think I missed like types of numbers, and we'll review that in class and talk about anything else that's missed. But I primarily covered about 48 to 49 out of 52 questions in these videos. So